What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. My name's Kyle. In this video, Thursday Night Football Week 4, we're going to be going over all of the relevant, player injury news and things to get you guys ready for Sunday. We're going to be hanging out for the next half an hour or so. And then I do want to let you guys know that I'm going to be doing a player prop show Saturday morning. And then on Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. Central Time, I will be going live and getting you guys, hopefully, all the player inactives actives ready to go. So let's hop right into a screen share here and buckle up. Like, I'm super pumped for tonight. We got Packers, we got Lions. This is my game, guys. I'm super pumped. Good evening to Sports Dog. I saw Sports Dog joined our Discord. If you guys are not in our Discord yet, there's a link in the description. Gets you access. You guys can get in there, get your start sit questions, waiver wire trades. We just added a Gamblers Anonymous tab in there, so that's kind of fun too. But Sports Dog, cheers to you, my man. Hope you're doing well. We're starting Aaron Jones and James Cook in my RB spots. I could go with Ramondre or Brian Robinson, using Sam Laporta as my tight end. And any advice on my RB choices? I think, first of all, like, Laporta's looking pretty good tonight. I like Sam. I like Luke Musgrave tonight too. I think both rookie tight ends are in play tonight. If this is PPR, Sports Dog, I really like James Cook, man. I think James Cook's one of my favorite players right now. I think I want to be buying him. If you could trade for him, I would trade for James Cook. His role looks really, really good. With that being said, Aaron Jones, we have the question mark on, like, what's his workload going to be? I don't know. But what I do know is Aaron Jones scores a lot of touchdowns at home. So, like, that does excite me. Now, I would rank Aaron Jones as like a top 15 back. I would rank probably James Cook as a top 15 back. Now with Ramondre, we've got some doubts. He didn't look very good last week. He's been kind of somewhat okay this season. I'm fine with Jones and Cook, man. I'm not really interested in Brian Robinson. I think he's in for a floor game against the Eagles. In games where the Commanders are favored to lose by this amount, like they're picked to lose by a touchdown to the Eagles, I think that's more of a Gibson game. So I think you're right. Jones and Cook would be my call as well. Good evening to Justin. Hope you're doing well, my man. I do want to get some things pulled up. Justin says, Walker, Mostert, or Puka? Start one. Walker, First of all, if these are your decisions, man, like, you got a good team. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. I think Walker, Mostert, and Puka are all they're all kind of must starts at this point. So, like, we're splitting hairs here. I think if this is full PPR, I'm probably going Puka. I'm probably going like Puka against the Colts, man. Like, that's a really good matchup. Like, I dare you guys to name one Colts secondary player. If you guys couldn't chat, please do so. The Colts, they ranked 26th against the pass, especially the wide receivers here. And they've allowed 48 receptions, almost 567 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That's about 42 points per game. It's a good matchup for Tutu. It's a good matchup for Puka. If it's full PPR, I want the wide receiver. Now, I do like Walker. I do like Mostert, but those guys, they need the touchdown to get there. I think Puka can come out and get, 7 for 80, no problem. So I'm going to lean with the wide receiver here, Justin. Good evening to Harris. Hope you're doing well, bud. Pickens or Flowers? Pickens or Flowers? So it's a bit of a tough matchup for Zay. Zay's going against the best defense in football right now. That's the Cleveland Browns. So I think I'm going Pickens. And the way Pickens is playing, like, he's been pretty good. He's been pretty good. And as long as Deontay is going to be out, I think Pickens is the easy call here. I want to go with George. I want to go with the big play in terms of fantasy points allowed. The Texans, not a great secondary. I still think Derek Stingley's out. We might see Jalen Petrie back, but overall, I think you got to go with Pickens in this one. Goff tonight or go big with Winston? Ugh. So it's tough to, like, recommend Winston. I think you got to go with Goff. Goff gives you a safety net of a touchdown and 200 yards of, whatever that's 14, 15 points. Don't know what Winston's going to do against his former team in Tampa Bay. I think I go with, again, it's the Saints. They're also, they're at home, so I like that point. But Tampa Bay, they do allow points to the wide receiver position. Let me look at the quarterback numbers real quick. The New Orleans Saints, they rank 10th best against the quarterback versus Goff in Green Bay. Green Bay's average here. I'm going to go with Jared Goff over Winston. Gullies, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Good evening to Chase as well. I'm happy for everybody to be here, man. We're having fun. Thursday night football. Hope you guys are enjoying a nice drink or something. It's going to be like Packers Lions, man. Like the fate of the NFC is tonight. Like NFC North is tonight, I should say. I'm super pumped about tonight's game. Dobbs or Palmer for flex? Oh, okay. I mean, so honestly, going forward, I think in my mind, I view Palmer and Dobbs very, very similarly. Because like as long as Watson's healthy, like he's the number one receiver for Jordan Love. I think they're both like wide receiver 3 flexes going forward. But if I had to burn one tonight, I'm probably going to hold out for Palmer because the matchup's really, really good for Palmer. If we look at wide receiver points allowed here, we're talking the Las Vegas Raiders. They rank 20th here. It's a good matchup for wide receivers and going up against Detroit. For some reason, they're a little bit stingier here. You also have just Watson being back. I kind of want to wait and see what this offense looks like, Chase. So I'm going to go Palmer. I think he's going to be fine. I'm hyped for the game tonight. And it's funny because, like, for me, I'm a Packers fan, but my girlfriend was born about an hour north of Detroit. So, like, I have, like, Detroit ties, whatever it is. But, like, I'm just excited for a good Thursday night football game, you know? I'd say Palmer, but let Fellowship answer that. I'm in agreeing with you. I think Palmer's the way to go. I do think Dobbs could have a nice game. Honestly, if I had to bet on the Packers game tonight, I think the Packers recipe is to let Jordan Love throw the ball. The Packers offensive line is made to pass block, not really made to run block. I do want to see Aaron Jones get loose and get some nice yardage through the ground game, but Watson, Dobbs, Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Samari Toure, Luke Musgrave. I think the Packers' recipe to win the game is through the air. So I'm open to Dobbs, but I think you got to go with Palmer. I always like Jayden Reed, man. Like Jayden Reed's one of my favorite players, especially coming into the season. I don't think we can recommend him as a start. I would need to know more context to your Jayden Reed question. He's probably not going to be. He's probably a 4 to 5 target guy tonight, and his night's going to be made with a touchdown. So I think for me, typically this is my rule on Thursday night football, guys. Like I don't sit my studs. I start my studs on Thursday night football, but like flex players, I usually try to not play because if Jayden Reed comes out and he only gets 2 for 42 or 2 for 30, like whatever, then I'm feeling kind of bad. So for me, I don't really love playing flexy type players on Thursday night football. I'd rather save it for Sunday. I'm confused what we were doing with Dameon Pierce. I've been told different things all over the place. What we were doing with Dameon Pierce. So the issue with the Texans right now is their offensive line is not healthy. They're missing, I think, 3, if not 4 starters on the offensive line. But the schedule coming up for the Texans, it's gonna get pretty good. And again, so the issue when we were drafting Dameon Pierce is we were excited about the volume, and honestly, like he's averaging like 14 carries per game. He's also getting 3 catches per game right now. Like I really like the workload. If you told me I'm going to get 15 Dameon Pierce carries and 3 catches per game, like I'm like, okay, sign me up. It's actually a good matchup against Pittsburgh. Atlanta, New Orleans is a little bit tougher, but after the bye week, they get Carolina. A couple tough defenses here, but overall, like I like Dameon Pierce. I know he's been frustrating to own, but I do think there's brighter days ahead, especially with Dameon Pierce. They're going to have 2 offensive lineman starters coming back after week 4 IR. So week 5 potentially is when we get the guy that we drafted. So hold on to hope. I'm willing to buy Dameon Pierce low right now. If you can buy Dameon Pierce low, I think that's a good target. Pierce, a chain, Mixon. One has to sit this weekend. Let's go look at the running back numbers here. So you can see Pittsburgh ranks like 25th. Like Pittsburgh's not a great run defense. So like I'm not afraid of Dameon Pierce in this matchup. I like Buffalo though. Like Buffalo ranks 14th here. That is a somewhat difficult matchup, and I'm not quite sure of what his workload is going to be. And basically, we know that we do not want to play running backs against Tennessee. So if I'm ranking these guys, um, Mixon's going to get the volume, so I think I'm still starting Mixon here, but I'm okay with going Mixon in Achane, and let's let Dameon Pierce. We need to let his offensive line get healthy, guys. Pierce or B Rob, half PPR. In this one, I'll go Brian Robinson. It's a true toss up though. Actually, I'm gonna switch it to Dameon Pierce. I'm gonna go with Dameon Pierce over B Rob in half PPR. Sports Dog says I'm using Amon-Ra St. Brown and Nico Collins as my wide receivers, Tutu and Palmer. In my flex spots, I have Gabe, Watson, Jaden Reed, or Garrett Wilson. Should I just leave it, stand, or adjust? In my flex spots, I have Gabe Davis, Watson, Jaden Reed, or Garrett Wilson. Should I just leave it or adjust? I mean, you got Amon-Ra and Nico in the right spots. I do want to play Tutu because, again, I mentioned the Colts matchup. Like, the Colts are not good against wide receivers. So I like Tutu quite a bit. And then I think I'm fine with Palmer. Now, with Watson, like, I assumed I was going to get a lot of Watson questions tonight. I think Watson, he's been resting for 3 games here. He's probably closer to 100% than he is to like 75%. So I am good with Watson, but I totally understand like wanting to wait and like see what happens. You do have Josh Palmer in a decent matchup here against the Raiders, who rank 20th against wide receivers here. So I think Brown, Nico, Tutu, Palmer, to me, it makes sense. I want to see what Watson and the Packers receivers look like. I'm not starting Garrett Wilson, until they get a new quarterback, perhaps. So I think you're optimized, Sports Dog. Oh yeah, the Tigers, man. I play Dynasty baseball now, so I got a couple Tigers like in my on my Dynasty baby roster. Gibbs or Swift, who would you rather have rest of season? Okay, so I still think my stance on DeAndre Swift is correct. Like, I don't expect him to stay healthy for the full season. If they're going to continue to give him 15 touches per game, that's more than he ever got in Detroit. So it's like a matter of time. I think I still lean Jahmyr Gibbs, who, I mean, I have a theory on Gibbs that like they haven't really shown us everything that they want to do with Gibbs. And his role is going to continue to evolve. I think long-term rest of season, I still prefer Jahmyr Gibbs, especially if this is full PPR. I still prefer Jahmyr Gibbs. I just don't know when that bubble's going to burst on DeAndre Swift. I do think if you could sell Swift right now for a higher running back, I think I would do it. But overall, they're both like really solid running back twos going forward. So if you have a strong feeling, Matt, on one or the other, like stick to your gut. But I think I prefer Jahmyr Gibbs. He's been fine for 3 straight games, and Swift is looking really nice. He's looking really nice, but I worry about that injury history with him. And yeah, what's going on with the Eagles backfield? Let me pull that up. We're gonna go over to the PFF machine. And let's take a look here. Oh, Eagles were Monday night. My bad. All right. So, and again, I'm not going to be doubting DeAndre Swift's talent. Like, I know he's a really good player. They still like Kenneth Gainwell, and it seemed like they were rotating these guys. It kind of to me seemed like Gainwell got the second quarter and the fourth quarter. And I also think the Eagles are smart enough to know that they can't give DeAndre Swift that week 2 workload where he had like 29 carries or something like that. So I think this is the appropriate amount of touches for DeAndre Swift, 16 carries, 2 targets. I want to see the targets go up actually. But they're still going to use Gainwell. They like Gainwell in short yardage. situations. I'm not quite sure where. Let me see if there's another chart here. So here you go. This is the Eagles' backfield usage. We did see DeAndre Swift get 3 goal line snaps compared to Gainwell's 1. But look at the 2-minute drill. Like this is what we were told in August that Gainwell was going to be. He was going to be the third down and the 2-minute guy. And that's kind of what we're seeing play out here. Now, I still think DeAndre Swift's he's going to touch the ball 15 to 18 times per game, but they still like Kenneth Gainwell. So I do think if I had to pick one to play in my fantasy lineups, I want Swift right now. I do think Kenneth Gainwell, if he's available on your bench or in your free agency waiver wire, like he should be stashed because again, I think it's just a matter of time. I don't ever wish injury for somebody, but it's just that's what Swift has been. He's only been able to play 12 or 13 games per season. So it's probably a last man standing situation. But going forward, I'm starting Swift and I'm stashing Gainwell. Someone offered me Pierce for Andrews and Spears. Offered me Pierce for my Andrews and Spears. What? Yeah, Chase, this isn't close. This isn't close. St. Brown or Stephon Diggs, half PPR. Holy crap. If you have that decision to make, Harris, I'd say your team's pretty damn good. I'm going to go Diggs. I think there's more points in the Buffalo-Miami game. I'm going to go Diggs. And I'm going to pull up something real quick for you guys. I think tonight's going to be kind of a grinded out game. Last year, the Packers and the Lions, of course, they played twice, but they were both kind of ugly games. Let's look at this real quick in the box scores from 2022. Amon-Ra St. Brown, in the first matchup, he goes, where is he? He goes 4 for 55, which is fine. He did see 9 targets in that game, which is nice. But again, that's only, about 9.5 points in a PPR league. And then if we go to, they did play at Lambeau in January. Let's look at that real quick. And in that game, we see St. Brown with 6 for 49. So a 10.9 game, a 9.5 game. Packers defense, decent from the slot. I think they're a little bit more susceptible to points on the outside. So it's not an amazing St. Brown matchup where I think Diggs in a Miami matchup, I think I prefer that. What's up with Marquise Brown? Harris, good question. I did see Marquise Brown had a thumb thing going on. Let's see if we can find it and read it for you guys. Where was it? All right, so he suffered a thumb injury in Thursday's practice, getting in a limited session. I'm not really quite sure the severity of this. Let's see where he's at tomorrow. I do think he's a decent play. Like the 49ers are going to probably win the game by a decent amount, which means we're going to see a lot of Josh Dobbs second half passing. I want to play Marquise Brown if you can in a wide receiver 3 flex position. So we'll see what if he's DNP tomorrow, I'd be surprised, but I think he's going to play through it. Yeah, well, the thing last year too is they still used Sanders like on a first and second down roll. Like they did not throw the ball to Sanders. So like they kind of compartmentalize how they use the running backs, which is kind of frustrating, right? But it does seem like they like Kenneth Gainwell in the 2-minute, at the end of the first half and end of the game. They like him in those situations, and they also like him on third downs. But I think for now, Gainwell is a stash. I want him on my bench, but I want Swift in my RB2 flex spot going forward, because the matchup, like, I don't know if you guys have seen the Eagles' schedule coming up. Like it's pretty juicy. They're going to play the Commanders, the Rams, the Jets, the Dolphins. Like it's a fun schedule coming up. So I'm still confused about the Eagles' backfield. Like I have been all summer. They're not even using Rashad Penny, which is a little bit surprising because I thought we all liked Rashad Penny, but it looks like it's a Swift 1A, Gainwell 1B, with Swift being startable in fantasy. PPR, in a PPR context, Harris, I'm usually going to go with the wide receiver. I think Marquise Brown's the play. Musgrave is really fast and tall. Freiermuth is slow. Who's going to have a better season? I'm going with Freiermuth, man. Like, The numbers look, or not, my bad. I'm going with I'm going with Musgrave. Let's go look at the Packers numbers real quick. Musgrave is just like I think he might be like one of the next like breakout like him and Laporta, man. Like they might be like the next breakout fantasy studs at the position. I'm very, very excited about Musgrave. Now, these are the snap charts from last weekend. Musgrave runs like all the routes. He ran 43 routes out of 50 possible dropbacks. He had 8 targets. Like this is what you want from your tight end. I'm going with Musgrave long term over Frymouth. What are we doing with Schultz and tight end premium dynasty leagues? Keeper drop. I tried to pump the brakes on Schultz in August. I don't think he's that great of a tight end. Dallas kind of manufactured a lot of touches to him, but he's struggling to earn targets in an offense with Nico Collins and Tank Dell and Robert Woods and some of the running backs there. So you can hold on to him, but like if you want to drop him, I don't think it's a bad drop. I'm fine with it. Like I like Granson. He's still kind of an up and coming tight end here. And Granson's numbers have looked pretty decent. So I'm fine with that. If you're frustrated with Schultz, go ahead and do it. Saquon Barkley. Let's take a look. It seems pretty optimistic. The fact that he's like practicing limited capacity already. So they play Monday night, but he gets limited on Thursday. So I would say if he's limited again tomorrow, like he's going to play, So I think he plays. I think the Giants need him to play. So we're going to see Saquon Barkley, I think, on Monday Night Football. Honestly, I think I would go Fant over Granson there, Chase. I'll be using Seattle as my defense and Jake Moody as my kicker. I still go with Cincy or Cleveland. Oh, Cleveland. Dude, I think Cleveland is basically, I don't care who Cleveland's playing. I want to play Cleveland defense. Like they're that good. I don't know if you guys saw. I want to see if I can find it. Personally, I think Myles Garrett is the defensive MVP frontrunner right now. Let's see if I can find it. All right, here's the play that I'm referencing here. Myles Garrett basically just dominated last weekend. So here's the play where he's right here, and watch these two tight ends. Like the Titans basically said, we do not want Myles Garrett to beat us. We want to shadow him. So Garrett's running across, the tight ends come across too, and then you have him coming back like. This is what Myles Garrett can do. And they actually got a delay of game penalty on that play. I'm starting Cleveland defense. I think they're a must start every week going forward. I actually think the Seattle Seahawks are not a great play defensively against the Giants. I think the Giants offense needs to open it up, and they're probably going to get Darren Waller and some of the wide receivers going. So I would play Cleveland defense. I would rank them Cleveland, Cincinnati, Seattle. Cincinnati against Tennessee, man, that's a pretty good matchup too. But I think at this point, I want all of the Cleveland Browns defense, especially in a division matchup. Which big play guy do you like more this week? Watson tonight or Gabe Davis in that Sunday shootout with Miami? Appreciate it. I appreciate the question there, Drew. What it do? Man, I was dreading these Christian Watson questions all day today. I think I want to play Christian Watson, guys. Like, it's a fun game tonight. It's at home for Green Bay. I think there's going to be some big opportunities for him to kind of catch a deep ball or two. Gabe Davis doesn't exactly command targets. Like, if he doesn't catch a touchdown last weekend, he goes 0. So I think I'm going to go with Watson. I'm going to go with Watson tonight over Gabe Davis. Both guys are fun plays, though. Musgrave or Frymouth this week. We're going Musgrave there, Matt. Makes me regret a trade I was offered before the season. I could have had Myers. Yeah, Jacoby Myers is looking pretty good, man. Should I put Montgomery in tonight? It depends on who it is, Charlene. Hope you're having a good evening, Charlene. I'm starting Montgomery in every league that I have him. So the way that I see it, Montgomery is going to get the ball 15 to 18 carries, 1 to 2 targets, maybe 3, who knows? So I think he's going to be involved. I feel good about his floor being 60 to 70 all-purpose yards. If he gets the catch or two, that's great. I see him as a high floor guy. 8 to 10 points is his floor. A really good chance at a touchdown if they get inside the 5-yard line. I'm playing Montgomery in every league that I have him. In Cleveland we trust. Cleveland rocks. Would you trade away Schultz plus 2024 third for 24 second? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it, Chase. Addison or Nico Collins half PPR. That's tough. I like both guys quite a bit. I think Addison's he's banging on the door right now as a must-start player. But I'm going to take advantage of Nico Collins against the Colts. That's something that I want to take advantage of. Teams are going to start to have to focus on Tank Dell a little bit here, but I do like Nico Collins a little bit more. I just think he's a little bit more trustworthy with his route participation and his targets. I'm going to go Nico here. He also has a little bit higher floor. Montgomery or Zay Flowers, not non-PPR. I'm going Montgomery. So Harris, typically, if it's a PPR question, I lean wide receiver. If it's non-PPR, I lean running back. In this one, it's going to be Zay Flowers. But you guys, it's about 7 o'clock here Central Time. Fire up your final questions. I'm going to get out of here soon. And dude, I'm so excited for tonight's game. NFC North on the line. If I had to guess tonight's game, I think Aaron Jones scores a touchdown tonight. I think Jordan Love throws a touchdown tonight, whether it's Musgrave, Dobbs, or Watson. One of those guys are scoring. And then with the Lions offense, I think they also get 2 touchdowns for sure. It's going to be one to Montgomery, and then Goff's going to throw one, whether it's to Laporta, St. Brown, maybe Jahmyr Gibbs. I think this game's going to come down to which kicker is the best kicker tonight. I'm going to say 23-20 Packers. We're going with the Packers tonight. 23-20 Green Bay. And Charlene, we're freaking out a little bit. I'm 3-0. Keep it up, Charlene. You're doing so good, Charlene. 4-0 is on the horizon. But hey, guys, we're going to be doing our player prop show Saturday morning. I'm not sure quite what time yet, but we'll be doing that. If you guys are interested in that, it'll be up Saturday. But otherwise, 10:30 a.m. Central Time, I'm going to be doing Start Sit Live. We'll have all those inactives for you guys. Yeah, nobody's interested in Schultz, Chase. I'm sorry to say it. I tried to get you to trade him earlier, but nobody likes Schultz. Ray got coming in hot with a Barkley question. He's got Jalen Hurts, QB1, love it. Olave, Metcalf, wide receivers 1 and 2. Monty and Moss, Hawkinson, flexes Barkley. If Barkley is out, what should I do? Here is my bench. DP, Hunt, Watson, Kirk. Oh, this one's easy. If Barkley if it's looking good for Barkley, we're going to play Barkley. We're going to avoid the Packers. Watson and Dobbs, let's see what that looks like first. Otherwise, it's between Kirk and Jacoby Myers. I think it's very, very clear to me that, hey, I want to play Jacoby Myers over Christian Kirk, I think, because Chargers are going to score points. Raiders are going to have to play keep up. If Jimmy Garoppolo plays, I'm playing Myers. If not, I'm playing Christian Kirk, Ray. It's pretty easy. Otherwise, if we wake up on Sunday and it's looking like Barkley's going to play, I'm totally cool with Saquon Barkley. But otherwise, man, I would rank them Barkley, Jacoby, Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley. And if Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't play, Ray, we're going to go with Christian Kirk. If you're nervous about Barkley in a matchup against Seattle and we're not if we don't have clarity Saturday evening yet, I'm fine with playing Christian Kirk because Kirk's been pretty good. And there's another caveat. It looks like Zay Jones is out. So if Zay Jones is ruled out, just play Christian Kirk. Fant. Correct. Waivers go through in 4 minutes. No Fant it is. But anyways, guys, I have to get out of here. I got to go eat my Chinese food and get ready for this football game. Charlene, we're going to get to 4-0. I believe in it. I believe in it. I believe in it. You guys enjoy the game. If the Packers lose, it's all good. I don't care. Like, we're still 3, we're still 2-2. We're okay. We're going to be fine. But you guys enjoy the rest of the evening. Enjoy the game. We'll see you guys in a future video. Peace.